Hello everyone, thanks for tuning into today's second video. We're going to have a look at the weather. There's 14 days for today's second video. Day 10 will take us to the 21st of July. We'll be able to extend out beyond that with the extended GFS and ECM Ensembles. They run around a couple of weeks. We'll have a look at the CFS V2 at the end of the video for the next 4 weeks. Gets us into the first half of August. I shall get on with that for you in a moment, actually. Just to say about the first video release there was our 6 CM UK weather forecast. Please like, share and subscribe on all of today's videos and content. And thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. No European outlook today. I've been to NGH with a foot and ankle. Everything went absolutely fine. Thank you so much for all of your concern, of course. But it means that I haven't had time to do the detailed European outlook, so that'll be back next Thursday. I gotta say hello and happy birthday to my good friend Andy. City Andy is celebrating his birthday today, so happy birthday to Andrew Barker, Andy Barker. Happy birthday to you, my friend. Hope you're having a lovely, lovely day. Please send some birthday cake my way. Please, Andy. Please send some birthday cake my way. Thank you so much, my friend, for all of the support over all of the years, and I hope you're having a lovely day. Happy birthday. Right, let's have a look, man. Let me just put my foot up because it's a bit achy. Okay, here we go then. I'm more comfortable now. Right, so central temperature is continuing to tick up. Now sitting at 14.3. That's still 1.7 degrees below 61 to 1990 average, and that is provisional to yesterday, to the 10th of July. So still significantly below average. These are the 500 millibar high anomaly flow charts from Penn State University for the next week, 10 days. We've got the ECM WF on the top, and the GFS, which we'll have a look at in a moment, is on the bottom. 500 millibars, 80,000 feet, is an area in the atmosphere, high pressure and low pressure. I've been moved around by the jet stream. Running above, blue extrapolates to below average height, which is low pressure. Yellow, orange and red to above average height, which is high pressure. You see, in a 7 to 10 day time frame, the ECM has low pressure in the Atlantic between Scotland and Iceland, along with a ridge over Europe, and that's bringing the wind from off the Atlantic, a little bit like that. By the way, did I say we're looking at CFS? We're not looking at CFS today. That has updated, but we have got a Beijing Climate Centre, though, for the next 40 days. That's going to be quite interesting, but no CFS Weeklies today. Hopefully, they'll be back tomorrow. Sorry about that, everybody. You know, I'm just used to saying that, really. I've been doing it for years. So, yeah, it's Beijing Climate Centre, not CFS today. Right, anyway, back to business. No, it was 7 to 10 day time frame. Winds coming in from the Atlantic, low pressure between Scotland and Iceland. Should be quite warm, but could be a little bit on the unsettled side. But GFS is very similar, although the low pressure is slightly more toward the north of Scotland, actually. Ridge out in the Atlantic and high pressure over Europe further away from us means that really we're perhaps even more unsettled, really, in the 7 to 10 day time frame with the GFS compared to the ECM. Beach with GFS, upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles the next couple of weeks. We're at Stoke-on-Trent today. The red line is the 30-year upper air temperature average of Stoke-on-Trent. So starting off around to below average through the rest of this week and the weekend. Next week should see the upper air temperatures lifting up much closer to average, but, you know, not particularly warm. Into the more extreme range, like into the last week of July, there are some warmer ensemble members. No excessively hot ensemble members, though, but perhaps a bit of a warm-up going on into the last week or so of the month. But precipitation-wise, we see that we've got plenty of showery conditions to come through the rest of this week into the weekend. And then next week, perhaps even more unsettled, really, into the second half of July. Some quite big precipitation spikes coming through there. Certainly doesn't look particularly settled on that ensemble graph for the next couple of weeks, actually. Looks rather unsettled, if anything. Temperature anomalies from the 11th to the 19th of July, a little bit below average. The cool July of 2024, cool summer of 2024 continues. And precipitation anomalies from the 11th to the 19th of July, drier than average for Scotland and Ireland, but perhaps a little bit wetter than average for parts of England and Wales. Latest wind flow map from earthnorthschool.net shows that we're drawing in a northwesterly today, so that's a pretty cool wind direction, bring a lot of cloud in with it as well, so hardly inspiring weather today. Unless you like cool cloudy weather in the middle of summer, as some people do, of course. Okay, let's start going through the chart data then. This our latest UK Met Euro run is looking for midnight on Saturday. Under a cold then, but could still be a little bit showery. Into next week, another trough pushes through Monday to Tuesday. That could bring some quite wet weather in with it. And then into the middle part of next week, while heights trying to build from the south, could bring something a bit drier and warmer into southern counties, but the northern regions still looking rather cool and unsettled. Icon is looking like that, so low pressure in the North Sea, midnight on Sunday, so still a bit on the cool and showery side. And then early next week, this area of low comes in off the Atlantic, bringing more wet weather in with it. Middle to second half next week, raising the heights from the south, turning drier and warmer in the south, still a little bit unsettled though up in the north. That's a setup by midday next Thursday. Dry and warm in the south and east, but a little bit more showery, but still probably quite warm in the north and the west. The KMA is looking like that, so low pressure coming in through the early part of next week, keeping the unsettled theme going into the middle of next week. Heights try to rise from the south and southwest. So sorry, everybody, but it doesn't really come to much. Just another low rolls in over the top, keeping the cool, unsettled weather going. That's quite a significant area of low, actually, it gets going just after day 10 there. So that looks particularly cool and wet. Oh dear. Well, let's see what the GFS midnight I'm so sorry, I've been very silly on this video and I don't know why. I've been in a hospital, so you gotta, bear with me. Anyway, the GFS midnight run looks like that. So we've got a call over the country actually at the weekend, and then into next week a trough is moving through, you see. That could bring some showery conditions in with it. Another low pushing it around a bit next week, turning it wet, windy in the north, but should be quite dry and warm though down in the south. Then quite a significant low punching through though around day 9. That's the 20th of July. Oh dear, that's turning wet and windy for the weekend of the 20th and the 21st of July. Well, beyond that, high pressure begins to ridge up from the southwest, turning drier and warmer into the last week of July as high pressure takes over. And so the final week of July turns much drier and warmer, but given next week was supposed to turn dry and warm, and clearly it's not. How seriously we take that, I'm not sure. Anyway, let's move on to GFS 6 then. Again, a call for Sunday with a trough in the North Sea. Then another area of low push through Monday and Tuesday, bringing more wet weather in with it. And then we have this significant area of low pressure contend with through the middle of next week as well. Wet and windy there in around a week's time. And then into the weekend of the 20th, 21st of July, this major low in the Atlantic, bringing wet, windy, dare I say it, even autumnal conditions really around days 9 and 10. Oh dear, I can imagine what the comments are going to be like about this video. After that, well, it's a bit dry and warm in the south, but still unsettled in the north. And then we get to the end of the GFS midnight run, and we're all looking cool and unsettled, better, more unsettled GFS 6 there compared to midnight run, unfortunately. That's looking unsettled and cool right way to month's end. No fine warm spell in the last week of July with that GFS run. If you're enjoying the video, please do like, share and subscribe. Thanks so much everyone for doing that. And drop a comment, let's say what you think about this and all of our videos and content. Don't forget to tell your friends about GavsWeatherVids, get them to subscribe too. Thank you so much everybody for doing that. 25 subscribers will get us to 18.6k, so if you could give us a sub, it would be amazing, it would be incredible. And we thank you so very much for doing that. Okay, GM, again with low pressure in the North Sea on Sunday, looking a bit cool and showery over the weekend. Early next week, another low moving through, Monday to Tuesday, with unsettled conditions in with it. Second half next week raises heights to south, mostly dry and warm in the south, still a little bit unsettled though up in the north, and then days 9 and 10 we're back into cool, showery west-northwesterly winds with low pressure to the north and west Scotland. No sign of any sustained settled weather there. And then the ECM finally rounding it all off the chart data with low pressure punching through Monday through to Tuesday, bringing wet weather in with it. Then the middle of next week, heights rise from the south, turns a little bit drier and warmer, especially so in the south, making more of that ridge in the second half next week compared to any of the other model output. No, that will bring a mostly dry and warm day, actually, perhaps very warm day by the end of next week. However, it's not to last as low pressure then starts returning for days 9 and 10. Not as unsettled as like the GFS for days 9 and 10, some of the other models, but nevertheless still return to more unsettled conditions there. This is a precipitation forecast based on that ECM run from TibetShow.com. So remain showery at the moment, and we'll continue to do so up to the weekend. And then the early part of next week brings more wet weather in off the Atlantic. Middle next week start to turn drier, especially so in the south. However, some thunderstorms threatening by about the 20th of July, especially so for the north and the west. This is the option on the table within the ECM Ensembles today for day 10. From the Icelandic Met Office gets us to the 21st of July. 51 out of 51 members of the ECM Ensembles with lower pressure to the north and higher pressure to the south. Basically a westerly flow, and it could be rather showery. In 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got. Gets us to the 26th of July. 19 members of the ECM Ensembles with low pressure in control, unsettled and rather cool. We've got 17 with high pressure right over top of the country. That's going to be drier and warmer. And 15 with high pressure over country and ridging up towards Scandinavia. Should bring mostly dry and warm weather with it. Okay, let's see if CFS has updated. I don't think it will have done. Nope, no update for today. But we have got the Beijing Climate Centre. So we can bring you that. These are 500 millibar high times break down into 10-day periods. The first 10-day period will take us from the 11th through to 20th of July. And the next week we'll have above, or the next 10 days, have above average heights to the north, below average heights to the south. Winds probably coming in bit of an easterly direction. Looks a bit unsettled, especially so for the south, which, what am I talking about? The second 10-day period will be the 21st and the 30th of July. High pressure just out to the west of the country. Should be mostly dry, but could be a bit on the cool side. Winds in from the northwest. The next 10-day period be the 31st of July through to the 9th of August. High pressure going more towards Iceland and Greenland. Low pressure to the south. And there's a trough over Scandinavia. Probably rather cool with northwesterly winds. Could be a bit showery. And then the last 10-day period takes us from the 10th through to the 19th of August. Still nothing really doing. You want some hot weather because high pressure is dominating. Around Iceland and Greenland, low pressure is underneath it. And in fact, that low pressure could be threatening some quite wet weather, especially into the south. But I would imagine it's relatively cool as well, with winds tending to be coming from something of a northerly type direction. Anyway, so nothing really doing there from a hot perspective for the next 40 days. It all remains rather grim for anybody who wants a bit of summer. But remember, it's all experimental, so it's subject to change, and we might see a pickup, in 2027. We'll see. Anyway, we're done. If you've enjoyed the video, please you like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much, everyone, for doing that. Drop a comment. Let's talk about this and all of our videos. Don't forget to tell your friends about GavsWeatherVids. Tell them nobody does it like Gav. And thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. Right, I'll just tell you what's happening on the channel tomorrow. We're going to have the UK weather forecast released at 6 a.m. And if that wasn't enough, we'll have a 10 to 14 day. We'll hopefully do JMA Friday. It will be dependent on whether the CFS is updated tomorrow, of course. If not, we'll just be bringing you, I suppose, a JMA with no CFS comparison. But in any case, I shall see you tomorrow for tomorrow's GavsWeatherVids, and for today's videos and content though, that's all for now, and thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of your Thursday, and bye for now.